Arsenal are set to bid £35 million for one of City's biggest stars over the last 5 years and begin talks with Ilkay Gündoğan. In other news, Manchester United again reportedly in pole position to sign Kim Min-jae. There are some contrary reports suggesting PSG are leading the race. We're going to delve into both of these big stories for you today. Make sure the like button is hit. Make sure you're subscribing to the Football Terrace. And of course, download the OneFootball app right now. There's always obvious transfers every summer, deals that are front of mind for everybody. Declan Rice to Arsenal, Caicedo to Chelsea, Harry Kane to Manchester United. We had McAllister to Liverpool, which completed a couple of days ago. There are always deals that are obvious, that we're all very aware of, the main targets of clubs. But what about the deals that are kind of simmering in the background? The plates are spinning, the water's boiling. We don't really know that, but we don't notice them. They're kind of we notice the steak when it comes out on the plate. You notice the potatoes sometimes, but the veg and the sides are often forgotten about. The sauce or the dressing is often never discussed, but they're very important parts to creating the perfect meal. And when it comes to a transfer window and building a squad, it's imperative. There's some big stories regarding Arsenal and Manchester United that I want to delve into this morning because mainly I want your opinion. And that's what these shows are all about, just so everybody knows. Fan channels are not about breaking news to you that nobody else has heard of. It's about bringing news and trending topics that are across social media, presenting the facts, giving our opinion, and gathering yours. That is what it's about. It's not saying this is fact. A story's fact. It's simply stating this is trending. This is being discussed. What do you think? I don't know about you and your upbringing, but that's how football news is treated at school and in the workplace my entire life. Have you seen this in the paper? We'd all discuss it, give an opinion on it, and move on. You never got accused in the staff room of spreading fake news because you spoke about a newspaper article. So that's what we're here for, first and foremost. And the best place to do that is with OneFootball. All the news aggregated in one place, plus live scores, stats, updates, video content, and so much more. Get it downloaded for free right now by using the QR code on the screen or the link in our description below. But where to start today? I want to start with Ilkay Gündoğan. I read this story this morning, and I'm going to read out what it says here. It says Arsenal have reportedly opened talks over a deal for Ilkay Gündoğan. The Gunners have made Manchester City's FA Cup hero and captain another key target alongside Declan Rice and Moises Caicedo as they plot a major midfield upgrade. Gündoğan is out of contract this month, and they want him to sign. City want him to sign an extension, with a decision on his future expected after the Champions League final. Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona, and offers from Saudi Arabia are on the table. But what I find interesting about this deal, this comes from the Evening Standard, by the way. What I find interesting is that David Ornstein was the guy that first linked Arsenal to Ilkay Gündoğan. Now, my personal feeling is he's more likely to re-sign with City or join Barcelona than go to Arsenal. That's just how I feel. And I base it on the fact that if he wants to try something new, I get Barcelona, new surroundings, new city, historic team, a team, currently champions of the Liga, but looking to get back to the peak of their powers in the Champions League. I get Saudi Arabia because the money there is beyond life changing, even for an already wealthy person. Paris Saint-Germain, I think I would tell all players to steer clear of going there. Tin Pot League, you'll win it with ease. There's no real prestige in being a big player in France, especially not at PSG. You actually do really well at a smaller club in France. You get a lot more accolades than you do PSG. But Arsenal, their name is still in this race. David Ornstein has mentioned it. And why I think that is significant is David Ornstein very rarely mentions any subject within football unless there is a higher probability of it happening. Why people were excited about him mentioning Al Khalifa yesterday getting involved in Man United's Qatar takeover. Interesting. This has come up from, in many people's eyes, the best football journalist in the world. So this story's coming around again. We'll keep an eye on it. I want to know what you think and feel. Also, in terms of Arsenal news, is a story you see up on the screen now, direct from One Football, that claims the relationship between Arsenal and Man City in terms of transfer shows no signs of ending, which is contrary to the report earlier on this year that City were going to ban transfers between the two clubs. A big report in about November time that was going to happen. It says here that Guardiola's judgment is shrewd, and he shows that no matter which player he decides to let go, City will always have enough to compensate. It says here that on one side, sorry, it continues, goes on. It goes, João Cancelo. I mean, it just talks about both their seasons and how good they've been in the transfer window. We don't need to read all of that. It says João Cancelo is now on Arsenal's radar. Barcelona are still a potential option for the right back, according to the Manchester Evening News, but he would join the Catalans in January if they were willing to cover his salary. And at this moment in time, it doesn't appear that they are able to cover it. Arsenal was set to bid in the region of £35 million as an opening offer for João Cancelo and want to bring him to the Emirates. Now, this comes back into a story that Lee Gunner and I discussed on Tuesday, where he basically said where he basically said that he didn't want any more City rejects at Arsenal. And I do understand that. And I kind of get that Pep spoke about how, his fullbacks, he has great one-on-one defenders now, and he didn't have that before. But at the same time, when João Cancelo was looked at as the best fullback in the world and City were winning back-to-back league titles and killing it, nobody was saying he was a bad football player. I kind of look at João Cancelo, and I honestly think to myself that if an Arsenal fan doesn't want him because Pep no longer wants the 29-year-old at City, I don't necessarily think that that's sound logic. There has been a falling out between him and the manager. So this is a player that I think if he'd have towed the party line would still be part of City's plans. I really do. I understand that some Arsenal fans don't like the inverted fullback situation. They want fullbacks that can defend. But why do you have to copy everything that everybody else is doing? It's just my question. Your manager's clearly got a methodology which saw him beyond surpass your expectations this summer. People like Lee Gunner were predicting 5th and 6th and the manager being sacked. It got you into a title race. So I would say maybe the manager's earned a little bit more leeway in terms of his transfers being completely condemned before they've even kicked the ball. Maybe. But £35 million for João Cancelo. That's the story. Talk to me, Arsenal fans. What do you think and what do you feel? Now, moving on to Manchester United. Kim Min-jae is a player I want. I want him at Manchester United. Now, this headline here from One Football says that Man United are in pole position to sign him. This was a journalist, Daniela Longo, tweeted on the 7th of June, Kim Min-jae is close to joining Man United. He then quote tweeted it yesterday with the handshake emoji, as if to say this deal is motoring on forward. Now, Fabrice Hawkins, who I believe is one of the best transfer journalists out there, he doesn't get enough credit, but he's very good, says that Man United are well positioned to bring him in. That is what he told the world last night. But there are some contrary reports to this, and I want to be very fair and balanced when I speak about this. The majority are saying United pole position, United leading the race, United have the agreement. But Mike McGrath, who is a respected journalist in the UK, has said that PSG are the front runners for Kim Min-jae should he leave Napoli this summer. So it's the first British reporter to really make a claim that I've seen. I may have missed one because I don't see everything. But he's the first British reporter I've seen that's made a big claim as to where the player could end up. Where's he going to go? How is this going to look? What's going to happen? And I find it intriguing because the whole of Napoli's press and the majority of Italy's mainstream media, the French press, because PSG are in for him, are all kind of claiming, and Spanish press now as well, Man United, Man United, Man United, but the British press have been silent. Now they're saying PSG are the front runners. The British press are very much pushing the United really want him, but they don't know their budgets because of the takeover, so it's unlikely to happen. That is the message, the message, the message, the message. Do you think that's briefings from Man United to play down expectations, to stop fans from getting overexcited, to try and reduce the price of players across the board by stating we're broke again? Or do you believe Man United genuinely are not going to get him, that PSG are the front runners and our names kind of being used by the Italian press, Spanish press to gather and create clicks and interactions when there's no real hope of Man United signing the player? I'd love to get your take on that. I believe, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm almost 50-50 on this. I really want to believe he's on his way to us. I'm excited. But the fact that the English press is slowly starting to say others are leading the race, it does make me nervous. But maybe when I reflect, those nerves are very much because I want the player. I think a player like Min-jae elevates Man United to another level. But as ever, your opinions on these trending stories are the most important element. How do you think it's going to pan out? How do you think it's going to go? Do us a favor and hit the like button again before you leave if you've not done it yet. Download One Football though. You have to do that. It's the best place for all this news. A lot of you always comment, go, Jerry, where are you finding this news? If you've got One Football, you'll see it trending. Read the stories, click on the articles. They give you all the sources and all the information. It's brilliant. Doesn't mean you believe everything that's being written, but it's important to take that information in. Until next time, my friends, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again very, very soon.